Hello everybody, I'm Jonathan from Gamereactor. We're here at Gamescom 2016 and we're talking about Watch Dogs 2. Thank you for speaking with us. So first of all, which aspects of the first game did you learn from and really want to build upon in this next one?
For us, the core has always been hacking. So obviously we wanted to give more depth to hacking, try to give more options for players so that they can build their own plans, using hacking and play their own style, any of the missions in the game.
Yeah, and where does the story take us and what is the setting of this game?
Yeah, so this time you're playing a real hacker, Marcus Holloway, and he joins a group of hackers called DedSec in the San Francisco Bay. And what they want to do is to fight a corrupted establishment, expose them, build a movement for people who topple down that establishment. So that's what you're going to be doing in the game, using Marcus's physical ability, but mostly his hacking abilities.
And can you tell us a bit more about Marcus, who he is as a character, what he wants and so on?
Yes, so he's a young man, super smart, born and raised in Oakland. And he starts seeing signs as he snooped around with computers, always been really good with technology, start peeking behind the curtain, and he sees that there's some very powerful people using tech, using surveillance cameras, but also all the information gathered from our phones, from our usage of technology, to start manipulating the masses, start getting what they want without people knowing it. And he wants to expose that, he wants to bring them down, and that's why he joins at the beginning of the game DedSec, because they're like-minded. They also want to topple that movement.
And it's set in San Francisco. Why did you choose that location, and is it a true copy of San Francisco?
Yeah, so for us it's one of the first decisions we made when we started building the game, because it's the ground zero of technology. It's where all the tech we're using today and that are changing our life have been invented. So it was great to bring the hacker there and be able to deal directly with all those technologies and the companies behind them. And no, we're not recreating it one per one. We scaled it down, but we're keeping all the best parts and the variety, the landscape, and it's the whole bay. So it's not just San Francisco, it's also Oakland, Silicon Valley, and Marion County with all of the natural preserve there. So a lot of variety for the player to explore.
And it's, of course, still a free roam, free open world. And it seems a bit more open in terms of how you choose your missions and so on. How does that work and how does that affect the story?
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't want the player to be forced down a linear series of missions. We wanted him to find his own mission. So it's a quest structure, a bit like in an RPG. You have your quest log, we call it the DedSec app, and you find your quests as you explore the world. As you get more and more powerful, as you get more and more followers behind DedSec, you're going to access new quest possibilities. Now, you don't have to play them all, because the goal of the game is to have as many followers as possible behind DedSec, so you can do that in various ways. You don't have to play every mission. You can even do it playing multiplayer, playing co-op, playing PvP, so you have a lot of freedom of how you're going to go through the storyline.
And of course, one of the most important aspects of the game is the interaction with the world, the hacking system. Can you tell us how you improve this in this game?
Yeah, absolutely. So first thing we did is we allow you to hack anyone and most things. So in Watch Dogs 1, you could only hack certain people or certain things, so we opened that up. And we still kept the one-button hack for quick access, but you can actually hold that button and then you have up to 4 different options on any ingredient. So that allows a lot more creativity for the player. Another thing we did is we offered drones to the players. So you can use flying drones and wheel drones, you can upgrade them. It's giving him an ability to project his hacking ability in the missions or in the world. And we also added a lot of more analogically controlled hacking ingredients. So you control them and afterwards you literally become that ingredient, giving you a lot more power to improvise in the mission.
And the new aspects and the drone and all this, how does that change the way you can approach a mission? Do you have many different opportunities and stuff like that?
Yeah, so what we did is all of our missions in the game have what we call a 360 approach. And it's true of the landscape, you can approach it from any side, but it's also true of the play style. So every mission can be played aggressively if you want, super stealthy without anyone noticing you, or a style we like calling the trickster, where basically you don't even have to go in the mission layout. You stay outside, you hide, and use your drones, use your hacking ability, you manipulate people, and you get to your objective that way. Most players, they mix up those three ways of playing, but the whole idea is to give them the ability to choose the way they want to play.
And you also have this sort of seamless online multiplayer, and we just tried a new mode called the Bounty. It seems to be like a classic cops and villains, but with a twist. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, so for me that's a really exciting part of what we're bringing to the game. So when you're playing single player, as many people already know, when you do criminal actions in the city, the cops are going to be responding to that. And the more heat you get on you, the more cops use means. They use helicopters, more powerful vehicles. And at a certain point, if you get too much heat, they're actually going to get a bounty on your head, and then other players can jump in your game seamlessly and start helping the cops to take you down. That's what we call the bounty hunter mode.
Okay, so you won't know if they're there or how
We'll
to.
tell you get a bounty on you, and we'll tell you the players have jumped in your game, but this happens completely seamlessly without any loading. And from the perspective of the hunters, they can be going around the city, and then they actually see another player in their city being chased by cops, and they can just join in the chase, and then the mode starts that way. So it's very natural. It blends with the single player.
It seems to be a lot of chaos going on. There can be, at least. Is there some special features to the mode, special abilities, stuff like that you can do?
So one of the interesting things we saw when we started playing it is some players decide to be creative with the mode. So you can actually force a bounty on yourself, so you hack your own criminal record to force bounty hunter. So what players will do is they can find a camp spot and they can fortify it. You can even play co-op, so you have one of your friends with you acting as a protector. And then you call in the cops, and you call in the bounty hunters, and then you can try to survive as long as you can in that place. And the more hunters you take down, the more rewards you're going to be getting. Eventually, they're going to take you out, but if you manage to survive for very long, you're going to get a lot of rewards still.
So when you get this bounty on your head, you can call people in to help you, right?
So yeah, so because if you can play the game co-op, if at that point you're not in co-op, you can also call in one of your friends, ask them to jump in your game, and then they become your co-op buddy and they can protect you during the mode. So it's a very dynamic mode that changes every time you play it.
And can your buddy choose to betray you and get the bounty himself?
If he's hooked up in co-op with you, he can't do that. No betrayals.
Okay, great. Is there anything else you want to touch upon with this mode?
No, I think it covers it. I think and also I think it's going to be a mode that players want to play continually. So we're offering the option to trigger it and stay inside of that mode if that's what I want to do.
I can at least say it's really fun. And thank you for speaking with us.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
If you want to.